Today we will reviewing third episode of Alien Earth TV show. We are focusing now on a few issues. First of them is that in this episode, Wendy found her brother and helped him fighting Alien. And this episode is showing us problems with this franchise, that it is very lazy franchise. What do I mean? For example, this scene, probably the most important from this episode, when Alien is fighting with Wendy as a robot, as a hybrid, or as a human in a robot body, but they cut it almost off. Does not. What does it mean? They just show us the beginning of the fight, and then elevator closed, and in one room was her brother, and in second, when we only hear sounds of fighting, was Wendy and Alien. So we see that that all of this was out of our screen, out of our knowledge what is happening. This is for me a very big mistake, because it's showing us that the directors and screenwriters are too lazy to show us the real fight between two superhuman beings, a prototype human robot like being, and probably the most dangerous species on in the entire known galaxy. And they just cut it off. We didn't see almost nothing, except that at the end we think that Wendy is a little bit damaged, and Alien is dead. And so this is a little bit silly, because from this kind of fight I would suspect that Wendy should be almost obliterated. It is impossible that because in first Alien we see that Ash as a robot, as a let's say synthetic, is stronger than normal humans, and he doesn't fear aliens, and he is immune to fear, let's say, and all these negative emotions, considering aliens and different unknown species. But he's not that strong, so he's not that strong that he could toe to toe fight with the alien. And maybe because Wendy is a hybrid, and a special hybrid, she could do it. She could do it, and she did it. But for me it was too lazy. Alien model looks very like AI made, very like AI made, very like AI made, because it lacks details. It lacks also this terrifying posture, terrifying behavior, terrifying body-like language. Unfortunately, sometimes he's CGI. Sometimes we see some kind of a, let's say, real model, but it looked not goofy, but not convincing that this is this terrifying species which we will be shown in Alien, first Alien, because this is a prequel to Alien, let's say Alien Earth. And another big issue with Wendy is that we have hints right now in third episode that she has some kind of ability to sense alien whispers, alien language, alien sounds. So in some way she's attuned to this idea of hive mind, because hive mind is a grounded idea in alien world, that aliens work like bees. They have queen, and this queen can lead her drones to different tasks. But this is the first time when we see that hybrid, unbeknownst to her and unbeknownst to us, why is the reason for this power. And this is a strange power, because she's a human in synthetic body. So why is these hybrids have unique abilities which they don't know about, and which even their creators, Prodigy Corporation, didn't know? This is weird, because and this idea, because we have a scene when she's like lured like a beacon to the sounds, to the operations, because in these episodes they finally gathered the specimens and different species from the Maginot space craft ship, and they went with them to the Prodigy, let's say, island, when they want to experiment on them. And Kirsch, main scientist, who is also a synthetic, is researching eggs of the aliens and face huggers, and Wendy is in a way lured to their sounds of these operations. She's also suffering, and this scene is very bizarre, because they completely ignored that she entered to their room. So she enters there, and it ends when she's lying on the floor being hurt, because they are making experiments on the face hugger and on the eggs. And this is really bizarre, really, really weird. Why didn't they sensed her, heard her that she's entering this facility? It's really very very weird, very weird, very weird indeed. And we don't know. I'm not sure if I like this idea, because the main let's I would say that the main, um, maybe not the main, but one of the disadvantages of this Alien Earth TV show is that they are focusing more on humans, on hybrids, on cyborgs, on synthetics, than on Alien. It's like in the beginning, because in the beginning, in the first episode, we have that there are these three types of entities, which can be which are new to the human race, like synthetics. So they are AI with their own unique identity, but they are fully robotic. Cyborgs, so humans who are enhanced by machinery of those years. And we have new type, a prodigy type hybrids, so human consciousness put into artificial body. But the idea of the alien is to focus on alien, how they were created, why they were created, and why they are so dangerous to contain, to control. Like it's all because in first Alien we hear that they are perfect organism, and they are and in later in Prometheus and in Covenant we see that they are some kind of a bioweapon. But who created them, and why this bioweapon is almost like is more dangerous to the ones who are using it than to those who are being used against. So it's like a soldier has a unique weapon which is too dangerous for him even to fire at his enemies, because it will hurt him first and later it will hurt his enemies. So this bioweapon aliens, they are almost impossible to use, to control. And in this alien universe we are more focused on humans, on the questions, what makes human, if a human identity, human soul, human consciousness will be put into the machine. Is this machine a machine with human identity, or is this a human only in artificial body? But these questions are too lame to be asked in Alien universe. Because, for example, let's say we have some hints that Blade Runner universe will be the same as Alien universe. So okay, in Blade Runner movie, you can focus on the question: are cyborgs, are hybrids, are synthetics in a way humans? Are they different species of humans? But here in Alien universe, alien is should be treated only as a tool to greater meanings, to expand, to conquer, to dominate other corporations, and not focusing on humans. And second, I would say main disadvantage of Alien Earth TV show is that the actors are playing their characters really poor. Only, I would say, only Kirsch, Morrow are characters who can be seen as believable and as having these ideas, different agendas who are right now hidden from us, and they are in a way interesting. But other than that, these actors who are behaving like children, it's goofy. It's completely not the climate of Alien universe. In Alien universe, we have children we have a child or children, and then a child in second Alien, but this child only survived because she behaved far older than her age really was. So it was the only reason why Newt survived. The only reason. And even later with the Marines, she behaved almost like a grounded teenager. Because she understood that aliens are not a toys. They are not toys. She even said the replay in one of the scenes that they should go back to the base because the aliens like wandering and hunting in the dark, so they prefer night. So she is able to understand that aliens are a threat and they are extremely dangerous, and it's not environment for a child. And in this Alien Earth universe, we have children who are being tasked to do adults' work. And to some extent it's possible because their bodies are uniquely strong, but in the other hand they are still very goofy, like sometimes even retarded like children. So I completely don't understand what is the meaning of this calling the Prodigy Island base Wonderland. This hints at Peter Pan story, because Peter Pan story is a fairy tale, and it is fairy tale especially for children and for teenagers. How is it beautiful, and why is it so beautiful to be a child? And that teenagers, let's say Wendy, didn't want to be a teenagers. They didn't want to be adults. They always want to be like Lost Boys and Peter Pan. But it is completely different story, different idea, different genre even. And it is out of touch with Alien World, which is very grounded, very adult-like, without any metaphysical definitions of humanity, identity. What is it to be a human? We saw that Bishop as an android and Ash as android, they were only focused on their mission, on their task there and now. They completely ignored higher thoughts of what is God, what is metaphysics, what is their purpose in life. It was completely avoided. They were focused on their task, on their reality, there and now. And we also have in these episodes uh, hints that one of the teenager, because one of the let's say the lost girls is having a mental breakdown to the point that she can go crazy, she can go rogue, and another one of the boys is infiltrated by a beacon from Morrow, because Morrow is interesting and this child is let's say teased by Morrow to help him. And Morrow is a very interesting character because Weyland Yutani, they contact him, or he contact them, and they wanted him to go back to their main headquarters. But he said, no, my main task as the mission was for 65 years on the Maginot is to bring back the specimens to Weyland Yutani headquarters. So he is not interested in going back. He's not interested even in his life because most of his family are right now dead. His son is older than him. So he thinks that the only purpose right now he has is to recover the specimens. And this is interesting, yes? That the cyborg has some different agenda that even his superiors from Weyland Yutani. So in a way he is working for them, but without their full approval. To some extent they approve his goals and his mission, and but he's the most interesting character because it is believable. For example, for us, that someone who was sent on a very long mission, most of the world on Earth he knows or he known is gone, and right now he needs to focus on different topics, on topics which are important only to him, and other than that, those idea that those hybrids, those lost boys and lost girls are more important than everything, almost, because we also have a different lost girl she's jealous of Wendy, and she wants to convince Boy Cavalier, so the CEO of Prodigy Corporation, that she is better than Wendy. But all of this is completely unbelievable because, for example, she behaves like an adult. So some of the lost boys, they are in adult bodies, but they behave completely like teenagers, and the girls, they to some extent behave like normal adults. Why? Why some of them are reacting different? Why, and why those weird ideas? It's to we have a word weirdo, but it's almost like they are all weirdos and they all have weird ideas on everything. And second character which is grounded is of course this Wrench character, this main scientist, who wants to, with Boy Cavalier, discover what aliens really are, how they breed, what are they, how can we use them. But other than that, unfortunately, and I would say that because, for example, looking of the face hugger and eggs is good, is okay, but I still see that they have the problem with special effects, with showing us scenes as good as they were in original movies, especially in two first ones. But I would say that even in Alien 3, in Alien Resurrection, the effects were better than in this Alien Earth series. So for me, many of the let's say facilities, of the scenes, of the buildings, of environment, especially outer environment, looks like being made by advanced AI, not by a director who ordered his division to create something and to look like it is a believable object or environment. So I would say that this episode is showing us that something will happen, probably something terrible, because it's also a goofy and a trope that they have the scientist laboratory. They have hybrids which are immune to being infected by aliens. But something will of course happen, and it will be interesting to see if, for example, there was a twist that aliens in a way can breed even in synthetics or in hybrids, because right now we see that they are not interested in them because they cannot breed on them. They cannot put their eggs into their organisms. Even facehugger cannot do it. It will be interesting to see how it will change, because, for example, the aliens evolve, and they will create some way that they could breed on any type of animated organisms. I don't know, because it will be, of course, difficult to explain and difficult to manage. But it's still an interesting idea. Give me your thoughts on the third episodes. I would say that this episode for me is 5 out of 10. We will see what will happen later, but yes, but I see that. It's rather mediocre TV series right now for me. Let me know in the comments what do you think about these specific episodes or details which I forgot to mention.